In this video, I'm going to be teaching you everything there is to know about Reaper taming. I'll be showing you what things you need beforehand, trap building, the Reaper taming process, gestation/raising, and future Reapers. Timestamps are on the timeline if you want a specific part, but otherwise, let's begin. So for the things you need, I'm just going to list off 10 things I think are the most important and explain briefly what each is for. First is of course a light pet, so you don't have to deal with nameless, and it's important to make a Reaper vulnerable so you can damage it. Next we got the magnifying glass and spyglass. The magnifying glass is used to see the Reaper's health so you don't kill it, and the spyglass is so you can see what level the queen is you're targeting. For 3 we got 1 or 2 sets of hazard suit of course since you'll be going into the radiation zone. Number 4 is 1 or 2 metal or riot shields to protect your character during the impregnation process. And at 5 you're going to need a rock drake or some other high mobility dino that is immune to the radiation, so you can lead a queen into your trap. Then at 6 you are definitely going to need some sort of high damage dino or shotgun to get the Reaper low. You can even use your mobility dino if you think it's strong enough. At number 7 you will need some sort of closed in area to give birth to your Reaper. This is because they'll actually run away if you aren't giving birth in a closed in area. You can put this anywhere you like, but for this video I just put mine next to the trap, which we will discuss in the next section. Also make sure you have a storage crate to store your things in the area, a bed, and access to raw meat. This is because baby Reapers will most likely kill your player and steal the stuff of your inventory as a baby. So if you have raw meat, they can just steal that to feed themselves. If you don't want to deal with your baby Reaper killing you at all, you can also just get yourself a Reaper pheromone gland. This drops from Reaper queens you kill and can be used to make your baby not attack you. You can then safely imprint and claim it while it's a baby. Another optional thing you might want to focus on is getting a high player level. It's pretty complicated how it works, but basically the higher your base player level is, the higher level your Reaper will actually turn out. The game will tell you during the gestation process what multiplier it is using to boost your Reaper level. But if you want to figure it out beforehand, you'll have to use this pretty complicated equation to do so. Big credit to the Reddit user Starker Krieger for figuring this out. Then finally, you're going to need some sort of trap, and that brings us to our next section. Now for the design of the trap, I honestly have been struggling big time finding a design that works. I tried a bunch of different designs on YouTube, but to minimal success. The main problem now is that ASA AI will always want to avoid player-built structures, so you have to be super patient with it if you want it in a trap. I decided to make my own design here that is based on something I used to do in Evolve to trap Reapers. Also, I should say for single player / non-dedicated players, there isn't much of a point in making a trap, as the main point of it is to make it so the queen doesn't despawn. Unfortunately for single player / non-dedicated people, the queen seems to despawn no matter what if you go out of range just by a little bit, but you can still use the trap if you wish to make the whole process a bit easier. This should work for anyone who plays on the server though, as things don't unload when out of render distance. Before we start the trap, you're going to need to find a place to set it up. I recommend the spot marked at these coordinates just past the crystalline lakes, as it is close to Reapers while still not actually being in the radiation zone. With this trap, these are the materials you need. You're going to start by making a 5x4 square, and then place a behemoth gate on the side you want the Reaper to enter. Make sure the middle of the gate is close enough to the foundation so the Reaper can't squeeze out. And also make sure the gate opens into the trap instead of out. After that, we are making a little box of thin pillars to keep our queen trapped. To do this, all you need to do is build 2 up on each corner, and then connect all the top sides except the one facing the gate. And there you go, Reaper trap complete. I should say this still won't be perfect with how AI works now, but once the queen is in the trap, it should be all good. When it comes to actually taming Reapers, you first need to find a queen. Queens will spawn anywhere in these areas, but my preferred area is to go right about here on the map since it's close to my trap spot. You can go further in the pink zone if you wish to find a really good high level, but just know the journey will be a bit rough on the way back. Something I like doing is throwing any bad levels I find off the cliff. But of course, just be careful doing this as falling in that element could be big death. I couldn't find any good levels here, but for the sake of this video, I just went with the second crap one I found. Once a preferably good level is found with your spyglass, bring it to your trap using your rock drake or some other mobility dino. As I said in the last section, ASA AI is very goofy when it comes to player-built structures, so you will need a lot of patience. You need to stand right outside your trap until the right opportunity comes up where you will know it will follow you into it no matter what. For my trap design, once you got it in, make sure you close the gate so it stays in there. Once trapped, make sure your light pad is on, and now you must get the Reaper Queen to below 2000 health. Make sure to check the Reaper's health frequently with a magnifying glass up close to make sure you don't kill it accidentally. Once it reaches that 2k threshold, it's very faint, but you might see a pink glow signifying it's ready to impregnate. Make sure your light pad is off, and you'll know the grab animation is about to happen when the queen starts sniffing your player. You can either hop off your dino with a shield, or just get grabbed right from your dino to get impregnated with its tail. Sometimes it'll drop you and not impregnate you, but don't worry, as you just have to wait until it does it again. Once you are fully impregnated, you'll be at 1 HP, so make sure you put your shield up if you have one and hop straight back on your dino. I recommend just keeping the Reaper Queen alive in your trap if it's a good level, as you can use it for more Reapers later. Again though, as I said in my last section, that is for people on servers only. It doesn't work for single player / non-dedicated people from my testing. After all that, you can begin the gestation / raising process. Once impregnated, you'll see this icon on the bottom right which tells you when your Reaper is going to pop out, bonus levels, and the multiplier that is used to see how many levels it gains compared to your player level. To get those bonus levels, you'll need to go on a big murder spree. My preferred creatures to kill are the Spinos and Carcanos, as they give you more XP than normal. I get levels super quick here as my hatch rates are super high, but you will know you have hit the max when it says plus 75, which means your Reaper will now gain plus 75 levels when out. Now all you have to do is get to a closed area as mentioned in the beginning, and preferably put away everything besides raw meat, unless you have a Reaper pheromone gland applied. Once the Reaper is out, try to claim it, and it will likely kill your player and take the raw meat that is in your inventory. I don't think mine killed me here due to some of my settings, but it will move around wildly with no control until it reaches the juvenile stage. You'll know it's in this stage when it looks like a normal Reaper. You can now take it out of the closed-in area if you wish, and now can start focusing on the imprints. These will be normal stuff like cuddles, walks, and special food items, so be sure to have the stuff for that just in case. Then after a little while, congratulations, you have a fully tamed Reaper. For future Reapers, as mentioned before, you can just use the queen you already put in the trap if you're on a server. It should stay in there more than likely, and you can use it over and over again as long as it doesn't die. If you are on a single player / non-dedicated, you just have to repeat the Reaper taming process I spoke about in the Reaper taming section again. That's going to conclude this big guide on Reapers. Thanks to all of you for your big support on my last guide video, and if this one gets a lot, I'll definitely do more. So yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
Rock skull. All he wants to do is stream all night. Lobby full, rock skull. Never gonna play with me, but it's alright.